All right, we are live. Okay. Whew, that was crazy. We'll get started in a minute. Before we get started, um, as you're taking these online yoga classes, if you have the props like a block or a belt or a blanket or a pillow or things like that, it could be very nice. But if you don't, you can replace heavy books for a block. You can replace a regular belt or a shirt or a sweatshirt or a blanket for a strap. And I just use regular couch blankets for like bolsters or couch pillows, things like that. So as I'll move through these poses, um, I might shout out that you can use a block, but I'm just going to move through as if people don't have these props available. And there'll be one moment where if you have a table, like a kitchen table, I'll explain a variation that you could do, but you definitely don't need it. All right. Hi, Eileen. You ready for some yoga? We're just about to get started. Oh, and before we start with our actual poses, I wanted to talk a little bit about some donations that the Glitter Goddess Collective is doing. So, as you know, Matt, Ant, and Trent, they're based in Providence, and I'm based in New York City. So I want to shout out some local New York City organizations that you can donate time or money to. Oh, you're at work. Oh, well, these videos are going to be available on YouTube. So it's live streaming right now, but if you want to take the class later, you can go to our YouTube page and they're all up there. Anyway, um, if you want to donate some time or money, if you have the capacity and the bandwidth to do that, these community yoga classes that we're offering are free, but we ask if you can to donate to either one or both of these organizations that I'm about to shout out. If you'd like to formally donate, an organization that we support is the Campaign Against Hunger. The Campaign Against Hunger, they say for every $1 you donate, they distribute $5 worth of food to New Yorkers in need during the COVID-19 outbreak, and you can also volunteer with this organization. So just Google that, and I'll put the website link below. And then if you want a more informal, like grassroots type of organization, where you Venmo money and you know that this money is going directly towards buying groceries to perhaps one of your neighbors, the Crown Heights Mutual Aid Group, I want to give them a shout out. I have friends who are actively volunteering, and what they do is it's an organization of neighbors who are currently going on errands, buying groceries, and providing support to families in Crown Heights, and specifically to those who have lost their income due to COVID-19. Any families who cannot purchase their own groceries, the group takes care of it. And if you want to immediately buy food, like I'm talking, you Venmo us and somebody immediately goes out and buys groceries or supplies, you can Venmo me and I'll get the money to the right people, and I'll put my Venmo below. That's a more informal group. It's a group of kind-hearted people just helping out their neighbors. And there's organizations like that all across New York City. If you're like, oh, but I don't live in Crown Heights and I want to help people in Park Slope or whatever. So we just encourage you to do that and connect with your neighbors and help them out. All right. Let's do some yoga. So we're gonna start in Virasana. And get comfy. Hi, Diana. Welcome. So get comfy in Virasana. Virasana is kneeling, and you're sitting on your heels, but we're gonna be here for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. So if you want to grab your block/books or your couch blanket or pillows and sit on top of that, that's fine. I'll sit on top of, I'll do a block. Okay. So I've been doing a lot of breath work. This is especially good for strengthening your lungs. We did this last week, and it's called Kapalabhati breath. I think the English translation is skull shining breath. So what it is an explosive exhale, and the inhale is automatic. It's generated from the diaphragm. So this time we're going to reach our arms up, and we're going to make 2 little like cup shapes with our arms. And we're going to reach them up, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in halfway, and begin. Breathe in, breathe out, bring your arms down. That was 40 times that we just did that. And I've heard people explain like the air is, you're like blowing something away from your face, like kind of like that, only through your nose. So this time, we're gonna do it 60 times. And I promise you I'm counting this time. So reach your arms up, make little cups, cup-shaped things like that. Breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in halfway, and begin. Breathe in, exhale, arms down. We're gonna do it one more time, 80 times. This is intense. If you need to drop out, by all means do so, and you don't need my permission, and that goes for the rest of class. Do come along for the ride if you want. Modify things as you need, and you never need my permission to do anything that you feel called to do so. All right, breathe in, arms up, breathe out, breathe in halfway, and begin. Breathe in, breathe out, arms down. That was 80 times, nice work. Oh, thank you. All right, so this is compass flow today. We're gonna stay in Virasana. And the reason I named this compass flow is because the cues I'm going to be giving today are going to follow like the face of a compass. So north, south, east, west. Ooh, I'm reversed. I hope it looks the same for you, but it doesn't matter. Because it's more of an analogy, a metaphor. Your outer hips, right and left, are east and west. And I want you to think, here in Virasana, that the energy from your outer hips is drawing from the inside of you, out, east, and west. So you may feel your legs lighting up now with activity And maybe it lifts you a little bit up more as you're imagining this energy moving east and west. Then I want you to imagine your north-south points. Your tailbone is south and it's drawing down between your heels. And your low belly, or the upper part of your spine, is drawing north, up towards the top of your head, the crown of your head, like where my little bun is. And so now you're moving in that direction as well. Out this way and out this way. And relax. So you see how when you relax, you kind of just like... So it's not even like I'm going anywhere, but there's this energetic movement of the muscles that's like actually very intense. And so a lot of people look at people doing yoga and they're like, I don't get it. When actually that person is working insanely hard. So light up the legs again. Outer hips are moving east and west as the tailbone draws south and the low belly lifts north so that your chest rises, crown of the head rises. Reach the arms up, stretch up, and bring the hands down. So I'm going to say those cues a lot today. East-west, north-south, and we're going to be oriented a lot of different spots around the mat. So it's not like true north, like the Earth's north. It's going to be north, low belly drawing towards the crown of your head, south, tailbone moving between your heels or like wherever it's oriented. Okay, let's come to standing at the top of the mat. And here, toes can be touching, or if you prefer, you can have feet hips width distance apart. It's a stylistic thing, and also if you have low back stuff, or you know, if you're pregnant or something, you might want your feet hips width distance apart. But I'm gonna have my toes touching. Anyway, you're gonna imagine here, hip bones, outer hip bones moving east and west, and your legs begin to light up, even though they're not moving anywhere. Then tailbone can draw in between the legs to go south without tucking, and low belly moves north. And now you have an insane amount of activity going on in the legs. Reach the arms up, inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Bend legs bend knees if you need to look forward. And then step it back. You can do plank and chaturanga. You can do knees down, chest, chin. Roll into cobra. Lift a few ribs off the mat. Tabletop. Or you can lift straight into chaturanga, plank, down dog. So that's our vinyasa. And I'm going to do chaturangas today, but the knees, chest, chin, or knees down chaturanga is always an option. Inhale, look forward, step your feet forward in between your hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward. That's when some teachers say flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up again. Feel the east-west movement of the hips, north-south movement of tailbone and low belly. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward, extend the spine, and step back for your vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and back, meet and down dog. We'll spend 5 breaths here. And here, even in down dog, you can feel the hips, outer hips, moving east and west, and now tailbone moves south, which is actually up, and low belly moves north, which is towards your head. And see how that kind of like aligned everything. Now my head can relax. Knees can be bent. You're thinking more about lengthening the spine. Heels are reaching towards the mat, but they might not make it there. They might be like this, and over time, you work towards that. Inhale, look forward, and you can hop the feet between the hands or step, step. Inhale, look forward, extend the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to do one breath, one movement. Same flow. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. And your movements might not match my movements, but you're linking your movement to your breath. Here you think of all the things we're working on, the compass cues, east, west, north, south. You light up the legs. You know what to do. Inhale, look forward. Get the feet in between the hands, however you want. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. This time, inhale, reach the arms up and sink into chair pose. And even here, you feel hips moving east, west, tailbone drawing south, low belly moving north, fold forward. Inhale, extend the spine, look forward, step it back, vinyasa, downward facing dog. Lift the right foot. And here, again, you think of your compass. Hips moving out, east, west. Tailbone drawing back, low belly moving up. Step the right foot forward next to the right thumb. Adjust your feet so that if there was an imaginary line going down your mat, the right foot is to the right, the left foot is to the left a little bit, kind of like you're riding a bike. Put the left knee down on the floor, untuck the toes. Reach the arms up, inhale. And here, you still think of your compass cues. Outer hips moving east-west. Tailbone drawing down. Low belly moving up. Look what that did for my alignment. And you feel your right heel dragging back. And I'm not going anywhere, but man, are my legs dying. Bring the hands back. Step it back. And this time, lower all the way to the ground. Inhale. Look forward for a wide-armed cobra. Exhale, lower to the ground. You can rise up to chaturanga and then plank, or you could put knees down and then back to downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up. Outer hips move east and west. Tailbone draws south, which is now towards the ceiling. Low belly moves north. I could do a better job of lifting my leg. Step the left foot forward, put it near the left thumb. Arrange your feet. Left foot is a little bit to the left, right foot is a little bit to the right. You think of your compass cues, even here. Raise the arms up. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is right knee down. Think of your compass cues here. Reach the arms up. Outer hips move, east-west. Tailbone moves down. Low belly moves up. Left heel is dragging to the back of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands down. Step it back, lower to the ground. So this wide armed cobra. You're going to take your hands and you're going to move them off the mat, left and right, so that your arms are like cactus arms or goalpost. Then you're going to inhale and you're going to peel a couple of ribs off the mat and look forward. And then exhale, bring it on down. Chaturanga to down dog, or you could do tabletop, back to down dog. At any point, you can substitute those things or you can skip it. Hey guys. And then we meet in down dog. Here, you think outer hips, drawing east and west, tailbone, moving south, low belly, moving north. And it's like your legs could move apart from each other on the mat, like you could rip your mat apart, but they're not actually going anywhere. Inhale, look forward, get your feet between your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and sink into chair pose. Hips moving east and west. Tailbone, low belly, north, south. And come to stand, Samastitihi, hands at heart center. All right, we're gonna do that. And this time, high lunge. Reach the arms up and sink into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, lengthen, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, step the right foot forward for your high lunge. Arms up, adjust the hips, east, west. Bring the hands down, step it back, chaturanga, up, down. Step the left foot forward. Adjust the feet like you know how to do. Same as low lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, hips move, east, west, tailbone, south, low belly, north. Arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, step it back, up, down. 5 breaths. And you do the things you know to do. You can do the things that I say to do today, the cues. You can do your own that you know you need to work on. Or you can just breathe. Inhale, look forward. Get the feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and sink into chair pose. Wow, I almost forgot it. And exhale, hands to heart center. What a shame if I had forgotten that chair pose. Okay, this time traditional sun B. Reach the arms up for chair. And inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you can hop or step. Chaturanga. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Spin the left heel down so that the foot is facing like 45-degree angle or like the top left-hand corner of your mat. Bring the right knee forward and step it, and then scoot the foot up where you wanted it. Keep the leg bent. Come up for warrior one. Again, hips move. You can even put your hands on your hips. You step on the back foot. Hips move east, west, tailbone south, low belly north. This leg is bent. Shin is moving towards parallel. Reach the arms up. Torso is facing forward. Eyes are facing forward. Hands down. Step it back. Up. Down. Spin the right heel down. My right toes are facing the right corner of my mat, kind of. They're kind of at like a 45-degree angle. And then take your left knee, bring it forward, 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 forward. Step the left foot down. Scooch the heel up where you wanted it. My foot set up is hips width distance apart, just like our low lunges and our high lunges. Come on up. You can put your hands to your hips, and then guide them. The cues, energy is moving east-west. You step on that back foot. You bend the front leg. Wow, I gotta do a better job of bending that. Tailbone south, low belly north. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Come forward. Chaturanga. Up. Down. 5 breaths. Let me see how you guys are doing. Hey, Lori. All right. I'll meet you at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair. Reach the arms up. Bend the knees. Stick the hips back. And Samastitihi. Hands at heart center. Okay. You ready to work? Let me get more on screen, actually. All right. You're gonna bring the feet together so that they're touching. If you want, if you have low back issues or if you're pregnant and you have a baby there, then you can bring your feet hips width distance apart. There's always a modification you can do. All right, reach the arms up, sink into chair pose, and this time, bring the hands to your heart center. Look to the right, lower, bend the knees more as you twist to the right, and if you can, hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Hips move east, west, tailbone south, low belly towards the crown of your head. Twist. And fold forward. Oh, you're lucky. I was supposed to do something different. Okay. I guess you're lucky. I don't know. You're going to pick up the left leg and step it back to a lunge. Reach the hands forward to the corners of your mat and stretch and adjust your hips like the compass we've been talking about. Then you're going to reach, crawl around so that your hand is now like at 2 o'clock, and then hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and twist. And then adjust your hips, east, west, north, south. Adjust your pelvis as you need to and twist. Nice job. See if you can come on up to a lunge. Spin the back heel down for warrior one and feel how similar it is. And then open up. This is a lot of foot shuffling to warrior two. Right knee is bent. Torso is now facing the left side of your mat. Again, you think outer hips, east, west, tailbone south, low belly north, extend your arms, bend the front leg a little bit more, reverse, and take it down. Step it back, and vinyasa. Nice work, guys. Look forward between your hands and get your feet in between your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. You're going to take your two peace fingers, like you're giving the peace sign, and if you can, hook them around your toes. If not, it is perfectly fine to have your hands on your thighs, your shins, whatever. And you're going to inhale, lengthen. Knees can be bent. And exhale, fold. We'll be here for a few breaths. Here you can think outer hips, east, west. Tailbone south, which is actually now this way. Low belly towards the crown of the head, which is now down. Even though we move all around the mat and we change our perspectives, we're still thinking these same alignment cues oftentimes. Inhale, lengthen, look up. And exhale, come to standing at the top of your mat. All right. We're going to do that on the second side. Inhale, sink the hips down, reach the arms up for a chair. Bring the hands to your heart, and this time, sink the hips a little bit lower as you hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and then bring hands to heart center and twist. And you're going to think of your compass cues. Outer hips moving east-west. Tailbone drawing back, low belly drawing up, and twist. And fold forward. You're going to lift the right leg, step it back for a lunge. You're going to adjust the pelvis with outer hips going east-west, tailbone south, low belly north. And you're going to walk your hands forward, forward, forward towards the corners of your mat. You're going to reach the right arm towards now 10 o'clock as you move your torso over your right leg, and you're going to hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And hands to heart center. Adjust, hips east-west, tailbone north-south, and twist. Bring the hands down. Oh yeah. Come up for high lunge. And then spin the back heel down for warrior one. Very similar pose. And then open it up. It requires foot shuffling for warrior two. Bend into the front leg. Tailbone south. Low belly north. Hips. Outer hips east and west. Torso faces the right side of the mat now. You feel that left leg heel dragging back towards the back of the mat. Bend the front knee a little bit more. Reverse. And Windmill the hands down, step it back, vinyasa. We'll take a breath or two here, or 2 or 3. Look forward, get the feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Walk the feet so that they are now inner hips width distance apart. And you're going to take your hand and try this out. Padahastasana. You're going to slide the palm of your hand underneath your feet so that fingers are touching your heel. And you're going to do this with both hands if you can to practice the balance. And you can even like wiggle your toes around and give the heel of your hand a little massage. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. I'm so glad. Yeah, don't hurt yourself. Ooh, I need to fix my hair. It's crazy. Tomorrow I'm doing a class called Align where it's good, I think, if you're either new or if you're kind of like a yoga nerd, or even if you're more advanced and you just like really, really care about alignment, which I would say I'm all 3 of those categories. But if you are like, I'm copying you and I'm imitating you, but I still don't really understand how I'm supposed to set up for each of these poses, my Align classes are like more educational and will actually teach you where to put your feet and your hands and all those things. Okay, so you've been in a forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up and come to standing at the top of your mat. Let me do a little time check. Okay. All right. Come to standing at the front of your mat. I'm going to stand in the middle. And you know what? Actually, it really doesn't matter. You can stand wherever you want. And I wish that my camera was a little bit bigger so you could see me better. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. Because here's what we're going to do. You're going to bring your toes to touch. And again, you're going to think outer hips moving east and west. Maybe that was a little extreme. Okay. Outer hips moving east-west. Tailbone moving south. Low belly moving north. And these are just super subtle adjustments that hopefully make your legs feel more active instead of just like hanging there. Okay, so you're going to lift the right heel and you're going to pick up the right knee. So now you're balancing on your left leg. Again, you think of the compass cues. You push down in the heel of the left foot, and then if you want, you can hold the shin. You can extend the leg and hold the thigh. If you're fancy, or if you have long arms like I do, you can hook the first and second finger around the toe and breathe. Then extend the left arm. Look over the left hand and bring the right foot out to the right as much as you can. And you can be doing this with your knee. You can be holding your knee. You can have a straight leg or working towards straight. Bring the leg back to center. Option to reach the left arm up. Option to reach the right arm up. Kick the foot forward, step down with the left leg, left foot, and bring it down. Bring the hands to your heart. I'm going to step forward because I don't have the room. Standing on your right leg now, you're going to lift the left leg. Oh, how convenient. I have a wall right behind me. And come into warrior three. Option to extend the arms or keep them at the center of your chest. Here, if you can, you think of compass cues. Hips moving east-west, tailbone moving back, pushing down with the right leg, low belly moving north, and then bring the left leg down. Take a breath. Nice job, guys. Okay. Left side. And after this, I'll show you. I have, actually, maybe I'll just tell you now. If you have a table, a kitchen table, a coffee table, a couch, a bed, whatever, like something that you can kind of put your hands on like this. And a yoga class, what they might say to you is put your hands on 2 blocks, and I'll show you from this angle. So I have blocks here. Because we're focusing so much on the alignment of the pelvis, and we're not worrying so much about the upper body, what I do, if that's something that I want to work on, is I put my fingertips on blocks, and they're like shoulder width distance apart. And you could be on a table for this, like I said. And anyway, what were we doing? We were standing on our right leg, I guess. So we lift the left leg back. And then here, what I'm thinking about is how to align my hips. And it's really complicated. So I just took my upper body out of the equation. And now look, wow. You can like really think a lot about that. This is what yoga nerds think about. When you think east-west, north-south. You could do that at your table. You push down with the standing leg. You lift the flying leg. Nice. Okay. We have to do that on the left side. Bring the toes to touch. East-west, north-south. Oh yeah. Okay. Push down with your right foot. Come onto your left toes. Lift the leg. Hold on to the shin, the under the thigh. Grab the toes if you're feeling fancy, schmancy. Push down with the right foot. And again here, you level out the pelvis by thinking east-west, north-south. You can keep your right hand on your hip. Beautiful. Make sure that standing leg is straight. Okay, then you can reach the right arm out, look over the right hand, and bring the left leg to the left as much as you can. And remember, you can be holding your shin. And oh wow, I really have to work on this. You think you want to plug that hip in. Now that I have a camera, it's like, oh my goodness. So you think of east-west with the outer hips. Okay, good. Bring the leg forward. Option to reach the right arm up. Option to reach the left arm up as well. Straighten the flying leg. Straighten the standing leg. Nice job. Put the foot down. Then you shift your weight over to your left foot and you slide the right leg back. So now we're balancing on our left foot. Option to bring the arms forward. This is kind of like the pose we just did. Or bring your hands to your heart. Again, think east west with the outer hips. Lift the back leg up. North, south, tailbone, low belly. Push down with the standing leg. Straighten the back leg. And come on up. So we'll do the table modification on this side since we did it on the other side. So now standing on the left leg. This is warrior 3. Second time. I have my hands on blocks. You can have it on a table or a bed. And you're really thinking about hips moving east-west so that you can lengthen the spine north-south. Okay? You lift the right leg this time. And again, make the adjustments. Maybe your hips slid out of alignment. Straighten the back leg. Low belly north, tailbone south, hips moving east-west. And come on down. Nice job. Okay. Come into a child's pose. And here, even in child's pose, I mean, you can ignore me and just take your break. Or if you want, even here, you can feel the outer hips moving east and west. And I actually have my knees touching for this. And I'm draping my upper body over the knees. So you feel hips moving east-west so that your tailbone moves towards your heels and you could actually walk your spine forward to lengthen it out. And then sink down and release. We'll take a few breaths here. Come on up to sitting on your heels. Take a sip of water if you'd like. Take a breath. We're going to do a few back bends, and then pigeon, and then shavasana. That's it. So, a little bit more work to do before we get there. I want you to come to lying on your back, on your mat, with your feet on the mat and your knees bent. Your feet are hips width distance apart, and your arms are at your side. I want you to kind of, actually here, play around with tucking your tailbone and arching, kind of like you're tipping your pelvis anterior, posterior, back and forth tilts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then kind of like you're doing cow, spine, cat, spine, if you're doing cat-cow. So anyway, then I want you to land so that you're moving towards cow spine because we're going to do back bends. So you're sharpening the hip crease. And your spine is moving towards cow. Then you're going to take the edges of your mat and grip them. And if you don't have a mat with you and you're just doing this on the floor, I'll give you a variation. You can clasp your hands behind your back, and that is totally fine. So if you have a mat, you're going to clasp the sides of the mat You're going to kind of feel energetically like you're ripping the mat apart, or you're just stretching it apart, I guess. You probably wouldn't want to rip it. So then you're going to lift the pelvis. And actually, it looks like I should move my feet. Your shins should be parallel. And you're going to lift the pelvis, and you're going to scoop the shoulders under a little bit. And here, you're going to think ripping the mat apart. And then here, you're going to think outer hip bones, east-west. Tailbone now draws between the knees and low belly towards the chest so that your hip bones are moving towards the highest point of this pose. And you're going to breathe. And you're going to feel your heels moving towards your head, but they're not actually going anywhere. You're just pulling, 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 so that your legs are working. And this is moving towards up, 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 and then come down. You shouldn't feel any bad feelings in your low back, but you should be feeling like your legs are working intensely hard, and that's okay because they're big and they're powerful. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. If you want to try the other hand variation, what you're going to do is you're going to lift, and remember, you want to sharpen that hip crease. Lift the hips up by pushing down into the heels. Scoot your arms under, and you can interlace the fingers. Scoot the shoulders under. You're going to push down so that it lifts your chest. And then you're going to think east-west, north-south, so that your legs line up. And you're moving tailbone towards the knees, low belly in, hips moving towards the highest point of this pose, and come down by sticking your butt out and bringing it back down. Hopefully, this is feeling really nice for you. Don't do anything, as I said last week, don't do anything that's too much, too fast. It's not worth it. It's a journey. How you guys doing? Okay. One more back bend. This time we'll do wheel, or I'll talk you through wheel. Feel free to do the bridges that we just did, either arm variation, if you felt like that was really useful to you. Sometimes, actually like all the time in class, when I'm taking a class, if I felt like, oh my gosh, that was the best my body's felt in that pose in a long time, do it again. Who cares about the next steps or whatever the next variations are? Okay. So setup is exactly the same as those bridges we just did. Feet are bent, shins are parallel to the floor. You sharpen the hips, crease. Legs and feet are hips width distance apart, if I didn't say that already. Okay. Then you lift the pelvis, and you're going to place your hands near your head, right beside your ears, so that elbows are bent and fingertips are facing towards your shoulders. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up for a wheel, but weight on the top of your head, like the crown. Plug your arm bones in and make sure everything is aligned the way you want it. Then push up. And you feel, again, east-west. Hopefully that gives a little space in your low back. East-west with the outer hips. Legs are lighting up and squeezing in towards each other. And come down by tucking your chin in, lowering the hips to the ground, and windshield wiper your knees to the right and to the left. And come on up to sitting any way you want. We're going to do a pigeon pose. You can come into it by swinging your back leg around. I like to come into it from down dog, so I'll talk you through that way, but feel free to come into it any way you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your right knee to your right elbow. You're going to externally rotate your foot, your leg at the hip so that your foot is coming towards your left wrist. You're going to plop your leg down wherever it landed, bend the back knee. If you want to scoot your leg back a little bit, you can. And then you think, if you want, east-west with the outer hips, north-south. In other words, right hip back, left hip forward. I keep the toes tucked in my back leg to encourage good leg alignment, but really it is pointed toes. And then walk the hands forward and fold. You can keep thinking of your hip alignment or you can just rest. Inhale, come on up. If you want to come into it the other side, the way I did, come back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs. Bring the left knee to the left elbow. Externally rotate the leg at the hip. Bring the right foot towards the right heel. Plop it down. And if you want, you can scoot the back leg back. My hip is not parallel with the front of my mat. It's at a diagonal, and that's okay, because here you want to care about the knee. And so if you want, you think outer hips east and west, tailbone drawing south, low belly drawing north, and fold forward. Sometimes it's nice here to drape yourself over a blanket or a pillow so that you have something to rest on and give yourself a little resistance. And here you think about the hip alignment if you want to. In other words, left hip back, right hip forward to deepen the stretch. And we breathe. Inhale, come on up. Step it back to down dog if you care, or just bring the right leg around so that you're sitting in Dandasana, legs out. If you're feeling spicy and classic, you can bend the knees a little bit, look forward, and jump through to seated. I like to do that because I'm practicing it. Okay. You made it. Lower down onto your back. And we'll take Shavasana for about a minute or two. Feel free to stay in Shavasana if you would like. Stay as long as you want or are able to. If you would like to come out of it, bring some awareness in your fingertips and your toes. Wiggle them. Take a breath in and breathe out. Roll to one side and slowly and gingerly come to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center. Breathe in and out. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Bye, guys.